You're listening to the Nature's Image Farm podcast. I'm your host, Greg Burns, and we're talking bees, homesteading, and the old-time ways. This episode is brought to you by HIVE wax-dipped equipment. No paint, no rot, no hassle. HIVE, built to endure. Now, on to the show. Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to another Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. Tonight's looking a little different. Glad you're here. It's the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the house, probably every husband on earth is probably getting their hand smacked, stabbed with forks, threatening life and limb. This is serious business, folks. This is pumpkin pie tasting competition. Start now. It's a big deal. Hey guys, glad you're here. Tonight we're going to check in a little bit with Brian, is on the road tonight. Bruce has some big doings going on. He may or may not be able to join us. And I just wanted to jump on here and say thanks for all of the folks who tune in to the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat every single week. You guys are awesome. You guys really make this thing important. And today, kind of having one of those days, and I think maybe you guys could relate to this a little bit. It seems like we've got days where if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It feels like every lead you chase is a dead end. It's been that kind of day, and truth be told, the way things were stacking up, Bruce is tied up, Brian's behind the windshield, and it was one of those things where it was way easier to just say, hey, why don't we go ahead and just postpone for next week? And I got to say that there's something on the inside that, as all I wanted to do was maybe go back to the house and walk in the kitchen and smell pumpkin pies and sugar pies and all the things that are kind of going on in there. For whatever reason, it just, my heart, it just was getting stabbed for the idea of not being on tonight. Not because of some big, great message that we have for you tonight, but I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I just felt like I needed just to dig in and just and be here with everybody tonight. So sometimes I think we run into these scenarios in life where we feel like I'm just gonna take 5, or I'm just gonna not show up, or maybe I'm not just gonna. And then sometimes I think in those really hard moments, those really tough times, those times where you feel like, yeah, let's pack it in early, something happens. I think when we push through, something really special happens. I don't know. I think there's got to be a reason why I'm on here tonight. Tonight may end up being one of those short story long kind of scenarios, but who knows? I've got Brian on standby, old-fashioned radio show. We can call him up, see what he's up to, see how his drive's looking. We'll see if Bruce has a chance to maybe pop in tonight. If I can figure out how to drop a link in here, maybe we can have a couple guests come on tonight. But is everyone ready for Thanksgiving? Is everyone ready for pumpkin pie and turkey and all of those things? I know I sure am. I got a lot of folks checking in tonight. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can do 2 things at once here. So many great folks here. Randy Souther, the Tar Heel beekeeper. We've got Cedar Ridge Bees, Wildwoods Honeybee Farms, Old 40 Bees, Trail End Farms. Got a lot of folks from Ohio representing. Great to see you guys in here. Hallelujah Bee Farm, Joey Rawls. Awesome to see you guys in here. 33 Mile Bees. Good to see you in here. Phil Lee from Kodiak's in here. Richard R. Briner, happy Thanksgiving to you too. And Miss Jessica Fairfax is on. Boy, the list goes on and on and on. Just again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Like I said, I don't know what tonight's show is really going to be about. I just wanted to you guys to really know how thankful that not just me but the entire stream team is for you guys. What do you guys in the comments here? Let's see if we can keep up with those tonight. If you have any questions about, I mean, anything, put them in all caps. I'm going to see if I can tune into that too. What are you guys most looking forward to tomorrow? It's a big day. You know, a lot of folks, it's family. Maybe it's if you're from Ohio or Indiana, maybe it's the family euchre competition. Maybe it's the pumpkin pie eating contest. Do you guys get together or do you watch ball games? What do you guys do? What makes your Thanksgivings special? Tennessee Tim here, deviled eggs, absolutely. Can you overdo it on deviled eggs, Tim? I don't know. I've never really pushed the envelope. Uh, last thing I need is to get in any more food trouble. I don't think. Well, I know Susie's probably busy in the kitchen right now, and she's probably putting the final touches on pumpkin pie and her family secret recipe for sugar pie. I got into a little bit of trouble. Actually, I kind of got into a lot of trouble. I It's kind of one of those uncomfortable stories that I'm not sure I want to be able to put the whole thing out there, but um, somebody made a beautiful coffee cake. And if you bring a dessert to the Burns household 5 minutes before Thanksgiving and you just set it out, it's kind of like fair game. Like it's one of those rule kind of a things. If it's not covered, if there's not a sign on it that says "Do not eat until Thanksgiving," it's like that. It's kind of like that Christmas present, or I think it says "Do not open until Christmas." Well, Thanksgiving, here's this beautiful coffee cake, and this thing just looked to the nines. And I gotta admit, I've been kind of bad. Actually, I've been a lot bad lately. If you guys just checked out the one of the latest videos we put out, an interview with Troy, what a beautiful story he has. But in that conversation, I hear myself talking about being on keto. Boy, I have backslid, done fell off that wagon in a big way. And so in the evening times, I'm sort of like creeping around, kind of head out to the kitchen, see if there's a little smackerel of something sweet out there. And, you know, it was quiet. Nobody was in the kitchen. Not even the dog was making any noise. And I look around and I'm thinking, surely it's 3 days before Thanksgiving. Here's this beautiful coffee cake. I go in, just cut a little piece, didn't think anything of it. You know, if you leave donuts or biscuits or cinnamon rolls or coffee cake right in the middle of the kitchen, that's like, oh, this is available. So I go and have a little piece. Man, it was so good. I had two. No big deal. Put the thing back on, head into the bedroom, tucked in under the sheets there. Susie kind of looks over like, what are you doing? Nope, nothing. Just go in, crash out, hit the sack. And the next morning, this is when it all goes south. Next morning, I'm in there getting coffee. Susie comes in and she sees what I did to that coffee cake. Well, not only did she see what I did to the coffee cake, but when the other kids maybe have a sweet tooth and they wake up late too, or they're up in the middle of the night, or they're up late and or maybe up early, and they see that somebody broke the seal on a fresh coffee cake. I mean, it's all bets are off. It's every man, dog, kid for themselves. And so everyone starts to get in a little bit. Well, Susie hollers at Izzy and says, "Your dad ate the coffee cake." Well, the coffee cake was made by Izzy's boyfriend's mom, and now she's livid. She's upset. Oh my gosh, it was a whole thing. So this whole dessert before Thanksgiving thing, come on, guys, it's a major problem. I'm sort of in the doghouse, I think, on that one. But can you guys relate? Has anyone gotten in trouble for sneaking the Thanksgiving sweets ahead of time? Oh man. A lot of great comments here on the sides. Philip Morse checking in. Hey, Greg. Hey, bee enthusiast. A lot of awesome folks in here tonight. Let's see here. Let me see if I can cruise through some of these comments here. All right, Suze, I'm going to have Suze come back to this timestamp. Because Lee from Kodiak Farm here, he comments and says, on the counter, free game. Yep. Hey, Mike Art or Travis Art, Travis Art, you got smacked for being in the cookies. You know, there's this weird thing. You know, if some of us have had the role of, let's just say, milk and cookie cleanup right around December 25th or so, it just feels like our duty, the thing that we're supposed to kind of do a little bit. But boy, the weeping and gnashing of teeth on that one, not recommended. Mr. JW checking in. Hey y'all, happy pre-Turkey Day. Man, tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. What are you guys most thankful for this year? I think when we think about kind of the scenarios and things that we kind of have gone through as a country, not just politically, but I mean with the hurricanes and the weather and all of the rain and things like that, there's an awful lot, I think, for us to be thankful for. A lot of folks, you know, every year, I think that kind of changes and it really puts things into perspective. You know, when you do suffer loss or you have friends or family that suffers a loss, whether it's a business or it's a property or human life, you know, I think we're all in a position where there's an awful lot to be thankful for, no matter what situation that we find ourselves in. Spent some time again on the phone this week with an older fella, and you know, when you can kind of see that your days are extremely numbered, you really puts things into perspective. And the fact that if the good Lord woke you up this morning, I think we've got something to be thankful for. Tennessee Tim says, Guy code, if left unattended and unlabeled, it shall be considered fair game. First Tennessee Tim, 34-6. That's great. Love that. Mark Miller, Greg, at least you didn't shoot a hole in the living room floor. What? There's a story behind that one. Holy smokes. Can you imagine being chased out of the kitchen with a shotgun? Hey, you never know. With some of these secret family recipes on pies, you really never know what in the world you're going to get into. Jessica Fairfax comments here and says, thankful for friends and family. We've lost a few good ones the past couple of years. Experiences and memories are the best. Absolutely. Randy Souther, Tar Heel Beekeeper. Boy, Randy's been in the thick of it down there too, with just all the weather and loss and mud and buildings and folks and businesses. And great comment here. Just thankful for the opportunity to see another Thanksgiving. Absolutely. Now, if Lisa Gowan was in the kitchen, come on, guys, look what she's doing. I'd be smacking y'all's hands. That's what she says. You know, we've got a lot of comments here. It says if it's not labeled, not clearly marked, fair game, all bets are off. Mr. Greg Britsky, every day above ground is a good one. Everyone we get to work bees is a blessing. Absolutely. You know, I think there's something with beekeepers. I've had a lot of great conversations with folks on air and off the air about bees and beekeeping. There just seems to be something special about folks who are in tune with the land, in tune with nature, in tune with livestock, in tune with bees, that when you're working with the bees, when you're spending time in there, you know, it's hard. I think it's really, really hard to be so tunnel visioned that you can't see the greater good, that you can't learn something about yourself. There's so many things to learn from nature, from the bees, just by watching them do what they do. I know I'm thankful for this past season and the fact that we got to spend so many beautiful days out there with the bees. It wasn't an easy season, but we're thankful for it nonetheless. You know, there are some folks who have lost it all, have lost their entire beekeeping operation. There are some folks who may not wake up tomorrow to beekeep another day. There is certainly a lot to be thankful for. Tennessee Tim here. I don't want to look at this. He saw a forsythia bush with blooms today and a dogwood pushing blooms. What? Come on. Now, Tim, down in Colioke, south of Nashville, the forsythia is blooming and the dogwood is pushing blooms. Guys, that is absolutely nuts. Wow. Lisa from Grammy Midwife Hives and Homestead says, I have so many things to be thankful for over this past year that I don't know where to begin. God is so good all the time. He humbles me over and over. Lisa, what a great comment. That is absolutely spot on. Very well said. Well, hey, Brian was on a little road trip. He's got some windshield time. And I think here, through the power of technology, let me see if I can do this. Let's see. Go here. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you can hear that. Can you hear the ring?
Greg Burns.
Mr. Brian Coper? Brian,
I think it's
Brian, you are live on the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. We're so glad you could be here tonight.
Wow.
This is where you're supposed to say something funny like long-time listener, first-time caller, what did I win? Well, one of those kind of things.
Now, that's true. That I am a first-time caller.
You are a first-time caller, aren't you?
Huh. You see how that is?
Castle.
I'm cool for that.
Nice job, Brian. So, Brian, you're behind the windshield conducting some very important secret beekeeping operations.
I was on a covert.
By the way that you sounds like you're somewhere between here and there.
Yes. Yes.
This is fascinating. I mean, I don't know. This is broadcasting at its finest. I think folks are on pins and needles, just wondering what in the world are we going to say next.
We're dialing it all in. Did you see what I did there?
You can't see what I did here, but look at that, Brian. You can't look at that. You can look at the replay later. I might be dialing it in with you, but look. Right, Brian, we're going to dial it in. Ready?
Dial it in. Right?
There it is.
That's the first time caller. I'm dialing it in.
Wow. Way to be. Well, I can't. That's a Fred Dunn quote. Can't say it quite like that, but
yeah.
Brian, we've been talking a little bit with some of the folks in here tonight, just kind of going back and forth, some of the things that we're thankful for, and this is the specific evening of the one of the greatest holidays of the year for so many reasons, but a lot of folks are getting in trouble right now with some pre-pumpkin pie celebrations and sneaking a little of this, sneaking a little of that. Brian, you've never done anything like that, have you?
Would never. I would never. Been scolded a couple times. I learned my lesson. And when someone brings over a dessert early, I watch it from afar. Now tomorrow, I usually have my own pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving.
You have your own pumpkin pie?
Well, folks in the family have learned that I will eat so much pumpkin pie that I just get my own now. Spares the rest of the family. They have a slice of their own. So I just get my own pumpkin pie and they share another pumpkin.
Brian, I like your style on that. My question is, do you have the entire pumpkin pie like on Thanksgiving, or is this like, this is my pie, this is my pie, what do you call the thing the pie goes in? Not just the plate, but like, what do you call the thing that the pie sits in? The
pan?
platter? Pan? No. patter,
know.
cradle of goodness. What do you call a thing? The pumpkin pies that you cook it in? The skillet,
Pie pan.
pie pan. That's it. Jiminy Christmas. Woo.
See?
Do you like? So you've got this pumpkin pie. It's got your name on it, literally, with a Sharpie or something.
Yeah.
And then it's inside this pie pan. And then this pie pan or pie dish, baking dish, anyways, whatever you want to call it. So like, do you just, it's like sitting on your lap, like you guys are saying grace at the family table. You already have this pumpkin pie like on your lap before you guys even
have my pie.
Okay, it's on your lap. So like, all right, do you pace yourself? Like, okay, the big question everybody wants to know is, as you're sitting there at the family table for Thanksgiving with your own pumpkin pie in its own baking dish / pan / skillet / cradle containing device, right? Do you pre-cut this into like individual slices, or do you just like get in there with a big spoon?
You get a spoon and you just attack.
John Lawler at Shekinah Honeyworks nailed it. Spoonful. Jessica Fairfax, it's a big serving. I mean, that makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that? Like, ain't nobody got time for forks and etiquette when it's your own pumpkin pie.
Exactly. I look at too, I'm saving, my mom or whichever family members, I'm seeing them having to do extra dishes.
Wow.
So I just take the pie pan, spoon. There you go. That's my pie.
So then it's there, like it's on your lap. Do you eat do you skip the sweet potato souffle? Do you go right to the pumpkin pie, like a turkey and then like pie? Like how do you pace yourself? Like this is a big deal. Like I could really see this being competition sports. Like how do you pace yourself with a pumpkin pie and eating dinner? And what do you do? Sit on the couch and watch football? Is there a euchre game going on? I mean, like, how do you talk to us about personal pan? Talk to us, Brian, about personal pumpkin pie strategy.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to have turkey and the stuffing and all the things. And then you let that digest a little bit. And that's like a prep. It's almost, think of Joey Chestnut with the hot. I'm prepping myself then for the course.
Okay, Brian, before you go any further, I'm on pins and needles. I think everyone else here is on pins and needles. All right, but I think you're in a spot with your cell phone where you're breaking up. And this is something that I don't think we don't want to miss, not a single word, like none. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up with you and I'm going to randomly call somebody that's in the comments here. If I've got their number, I'm going to give them a call and see what they're up to tonight. But I'm going to call you back. I'm going to check back in with you a little bit.
Okay.
So we can hear the personal pumpkin pie strategy.
Yes. All right.
Brian, be careful. Keep the rubber on the road and we'll talk to you here in a little bit.
Oh yeah. All right. Sounds
good. See you, buddy. All right, so let's look through the comments here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's see who I got here. Okay, we're going to go President-elect. Here we go. Let's see if he answers. Is this Mr. Craig Midget?
Are you there?
Craig Midget, you're live on the Stream Team call-in show.
Oh.
You've won tonight's prize of being put on the spot.
I'm here now. What's up, Greg Bird?
How's it going, Craig?
Pretty good, sir. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What's going on with Craig Midget the night before Thanksgiving?
Let me get rid of this echo.
Echo.
Is that better?
Well, there he is.
Is that better?
Well, that is finer than frog hair split 3 ways, Craig.
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Hey, I figured you threw a comment out there. What is this, a call-in show? Well, hey, you're next. No cowbell. Keep the cowbell to yourself, though, would you?
Hey, man, you better hope you don't bring it. I saw today you're across the aisle from you again at Nobby.
Oh, boy, here we go. Well, Craig, hey,
No, I
what are you up to tonight?
I noticed that Ken very slyly put a section in the vendor agreement to not make excessive noise and something like that. Respect is around you, sort of thing.
Really? I wonder why that happened.
Obviously, Susie is taking care of the vendor agreement for you.
Or I don't read very good, or all the fine prints and such.
I was doing my due diligence to read, breeze through each section and found that.
You know, something as important as a vendor agreement, you would think I would probably read that thoroughly. I guess now you put me on the spot. Who knows what else? So does that mean we are not able to bring live giraffes, falcons, or air horns?
That is correct.
Wow,
that
interesting.
is correct. We do have a new celebration this year for High Street Heroes. That is, if anyone doesn't recall, I'm the state leader for High Street Heroes and leading the booth at Nobby this year. But we have a new celebration that's quiet, Greg. Disturbing you or podcasting you choose to do.
Now, Craig, when you say quiet, is it quiet like that kind of quiet?
Quieter,
like that kind of quiet?
Quieter.
I don't know if it's going to be the same. I don't know if it's going to be the same thing. But you know
happier.
What? It's going to be happier. Happy's good. Happy's good. That's nice.
How many more of these do you have?
How many more? I don't know. I've got a lot. We can get wild tonight, but you know that's not what this is about. So, Craig.
No.
What is Craig Midget doing the night before Thanksgiving?
I am at my mother's house in Middle Tennessee, about a 3-hour drive from where we live in Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
And me and my family are here to hang with my mother. My mother made her famous lasagna for dinner tonight. And in the morning, I'll start smoking some turkeys.
Wow. The question everyone's dying to know, does your mom know that you're ditching family time to listen in on the stream team?
You know, I was just so lucky to be running out on an errand when I saw your post on Facebook.
Oh man, I am so glad to hear that, because this would get really uncomfortable if this was like toilet time with Craig, like where you're off hiding somewhere and then you're on your phone and then it's streamed, you know, like
I had to sneak in the bathroom to do this.
Well, hey, I know you've got big plans. Just wanted to call and say, hey, wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and I guess we'll see you here in January. We'll see you real soon.
Yeah, quite soon. I wanted to do and Susie and the family a really happy Thanksgiving as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful, peaceful, blessed time. And thank you for all the positivity that you bring to the beekeeping community.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Craig. Like the honeybees of the hive, we're better together. And it's absolutely an honor to be surrounded with so many folks. Iron sharpens iron. Craig, thanks for everything that you do for the veteran community, and from all of us here at the stream team to the midget family. Hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving, and make sure you sneak in a pumpkin pie or two.
Unfortunately, I don't get my own, but pumpkin pie will still be consumed.
Okay, there's the life goals: personal pumpkin pies.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Craig. We'll see you later, bud.
You guys have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.
You know, wouldn't it be fun if we had like one of those Wheel of Fortune things, like you spin it around and then like we'll call somebody. Let's see, who's next. What do you guys think? Should we keep in with the random call a commenter, I think I've got probably some of your numbers here. Let's see. Round and round. Where does she stop? Nobody knows. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's see if we can cruise around the country here. You think he'll pick up? Let's see if he puts me to voicemail. What's he gonna do?
Hello?
Is this Mr. Tennessee Tim McCandless?
Hey, man, I'm listening to a podcast right now. I'm going to have to call you back.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. Well, hey, I hate to interrupt. It's probably a good one. Is it those stream team guys, hopefully?
Oh, dude, they were fixing to tell about what size paper to use to smoke a turkey. Craig Mitch was just talking about it. I didn't ever hear him say what size paper to use.
Oh, that's a wow, good one. Yeah, wouldn't that be something special?
1.5 or
that must be legal down there in Tennessee, I guess. with the hillbillies that far south, I guess, huh?
Well,
well, hey, Tim, you are, out of all the folks that I know, you're special in a lot of ways, but you definitely have your ear to the ground to all the latest and greatest when it comes to the world of culinary arts and specialized honeys and good down home eating. So, Tim, what does a Tennessee Thanksgiving look like? What's the spread like? What's the food look like? And what's your favorite things that you find on your mom's table?
I am wanting to put my mom making these homemade pumpkin pies, and we're gonna put some of that Cool Whip on top of them. And I got this bourbon honey I'm gonna drizzle over top of that. And yeah, like the etiquette is you don't get meat until like your third plate.
What?
First plate is all pie. Second plate, you can get cake and like sweet potato stuff. And then third plate is when you get meat.
I've never heard of such a thing, but I love it.
Hey, man, look, the Apache taught their children to always eat dessert first because you may die before you get to the main course. And I think that is some wonderful information to teach your children.
Okay. Wow. Just get right in there. All right, we've got a big question here, though.
Uh-huh.
Pecan or pecan pie?
How do you see now? All right, I'm gonna explain something. A pecan is what English peas are sold in. Okay, the little green, they're sold in pecans.
Okay, I'm
Now,
following. I'm tracking.
What we have that we shoot the squirrels that keep them from eating is called a pecan. And it's two different things.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I would.
We don't have pecans there.
We should have asked the commenters here, the folks listening tonight. If I were a betting man, I would have probably gone with Tim. Would have called that a pecan pie. It's a good thing I'm not a betting man. I'd have lost it all.
Oh yeah, it's a pecan.
Hey Tim, we've got a special guest for you tonight. Let's bring him on here real quick. Bruce, welcome to the Stream Team Chat.
Can you hear me okay?
Boy, you sound great, Bruce.
Yeah, we've been busy here, but I thought I'd hop on for just a couple of minutes. But I can put this debate to rest right now.
Okay, what is it?
It's not pecan, it's pecan.
It is pecan.
We got pecans all around here, everywhere. So yeah, it's pecan.
Pecan. All right.
That's it. Bruce knows.
Who you got on here, Greg? I just tuned in.
We've got Tennessee Tim McCandless, the one and only, is on there.
See, Tim knows. Tim's from down here where I simply got pecan trees around where he's at, but yeah, there's a ton of pecan. My mom has a pecan orchard at her house, and so we've definitely been picking up pecans this last month or so.
Hey, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
I told him, I said, pecans are how English peas are sold.
I like it.
You know what I mean? They put peas in a pecan. Now,
They're weird.
what
They're
we
strange.
have that grow on these trees are pecans.
Yeah, they're strange over there in Georgia. See that? It says pecans. I don't think
Southeast Homestead says pecans in Georgia.
so. Yeah, that's all right.
Pecans sound like something you had before indoor plumbing, but hey, to each their own.
It probably just depends on, I'm sure everybody says it different, but right here in Southeast Alabama is pecans. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone around here call them pecans.
I love pecan pies, but you know that feeling after like you had one and you went for that second piece and then it hits and then like your teeth just start to shiver because that was just like fructose
Sugar
overload and your teeth are shaking and you're just looking
okay, so there's a product or a pie. It's called Gwen's Kentucky Pie. I call it Toll House Pie. Have you ever had that before?
Toll House Pie?
It's like a pecan pie with chocolate chips in it.
What?
It is so,
no.
If you look up Kentucky Pie or Toll House Pie, it is so good, man. That's my favorite pie on the planet.
All right, I got to see this. Let's see if I can pull a Brian Coper and pull this thing up. Let's see images. Oh my Lord!
I can't believe you just put a little bit of whipped cream on there and or ice cream. I like it with Cool Whip or whatever on top of that stuff, man. It is, it's dangerous. It's my favorite pie in the world. You ever had that, Tim? You ever had Toll House Pie or Kentucky Pie?
I feel like I've lived a sheltered life.
There it is. There it is. You look at that big picture right there. That's a perfect.
Oh my gosh!
It's
basically a shot of insulin just looking at it.
It's basically it tastes like pecan pie, but it's got the chocolate chips in it, man. I don't know. I'm sure the recipe's a little different, but it is.
You got to put some whipped cream or something on top of it just to cut, probably just to cut through it.
That's right, man. That's exactly what you do.
Man, that is.
So y'all should try that.
Some more living to do, apparently.
You should have Susie make some of that for Thanksgiving if she will, or have somebody make some for you one of these days. It's my favorite. Of all the pies in the world, that's my favorite.
Greg, I'll tell you another word that you was coming up with a while ago about regional things. I heard your wife Susie talk about growing up crappie fishing.
Oh yeah.
No, it's crappie.
Now that word is pronounced differently from state to state.
It depends on how they taste. When they're really good tasting, they're crappie. But when you get a little further south and they start talking funny, they start tasting funny. And I think folks call them crappie. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we call them crappie down here, I think. It's actually kind of a mix down here, I think. And
some places crappie or brim, and brim or crappie, and brim's crappie, and crappie's crappie. But under
except in Louisiana, there's sockeye down there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here's a wild pie that I don't think. Tim, have you ever had a sauerkraut pie?
No.
That does not.
You guys are missing out. Come on now.
My favorite pie on the planet Earth is called a buttermilk pie.
Oh, okay. So imagine a buttermilk pie, but with sauerkraut. It is one of those weird, salty, savory, sweet. You got to try it, but you have to have somebody who actually knows how to make it because the crust has to be right, the density of the filling has to be just right. Otherwise, you're going to end up.
Is this like an Ohio thing?
It probably is. It's probably a Pennsylvania Dutch sort of a thing.
That's where I was going to ask.
Yeah. Yep.
But you have to like sauerkraut to like that.
You gotta like Bruce. You don't like sauerkraut?
No, I don't like sauerkraut. Yeah.
He's gone. That's enough. I'm not hearing any more. I don't know. I can even trust a man that doesn't like sauerkraut.
I didn't know how much I liked it till I started making it homemade.
Oh man, that's good stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, we've got into ferment a lot of the stuff that we make hot sauces and stuff too.
Yeah. Lisa,
all those have been fermented.
Lisa's got a comment there about what she makes her pecan pie cobbler. That looks pretty darn good.
Pecan pie cobbler?
Lisa, throw some chocolate chips in there and see what you think.
Basically a double-decker pecan pie with crust all the way through.
That's like crispy and
you'd have to like mix the Narcan and the insulin together and hit you with it after eating something like that.
I don't even know what to say to that. Somebody just texted me.
Alright.
It didn't say the name was, but they said Kentucky Derby pie is another
That
name.
might
Maybe
that might be what
maybe
it's
it's a name
called.
for another name of
I
Toll
think
House.
it's I just we call it Toll House, but I think it's I've heard Gwen's Kentucky Pie, and it's anything to do with Kentucky Pie. I think it's probably maybe the same thing. But anyway, whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you, it's my favorite. So good.
If anyone's fixing to be diabetic and they're on the edge, I think that would be one that would. Oh, it's from Anthony Ellis. Anthony Ellis, thanks for the Kentucky Derby pie. Nice. Well, Tim, hang tight here on the line for a minute. I'm going to check in with Bruce here. I think Bruce might be on a limited timeline tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to check in with Bruce real quick, and then Tim, I'm going to come back with you so you can tell us what a down-home Thanksgiving looks like.
I'll be sitting on the side waiting on you.
Bruce,
Yes, sir.
you got some big plans, some fun things going on, but talk to us. What does Thanksgiving look like in the Jenny house?
Well, typically, we've had a big change in our family this year. My grandma was 101 and she passed away. So there's been a little bit of family drama going on. So it's going to be a little different this year. And for me, it's going to be way different. I'm not even going to be here. But normally my brother has a nice home it's really good. It's a good place to host different things. And so we usually do Thanksgiving and Christmas up there. He's got a nice large open area in his house. He's got a nice island in there where you can put the food and stack it all up. And it's kind of like all the traditional things, the turkey, the ham, the dressing, all the fixings that you would normally expect at a Thanksgiving meal. And then of course there's always a lot of desserts, so the pies, all different kinds of pies. And it's just a good time, a lot of really good food. And of course you do feel like you've taken some kind of a drug when you're done, because you just want to go to sleep. So it's just a typical Thanksgiving meal. And this year I think it's I'm not going to be there, but I think for those who are going to be there, it's going to be a little different. We're not going to have as many people. And it's going to be just kind of without grandma, it's going to be just a little bit different. She couldn't really help much in the last few years as far as but just she was kind of that glue, that held everybody together. And so, there's been some things going on, I think, that can happen sometimes when a loved one passes away, when the matriarch of the entire family kind of passes away. Sometimes people act a little strange, and some people kind of begin to split up and do some different things. But it's going to be a fun time. There's going to be, we're going to have, my wife's going to be there, and then a lot of my immediate family and just those that have been invited and have agreed to come will be there with the food. I'm sure it'll be a wonderful time. And there's some folks there that have been invited from church and things like that. Maybe some people that might be less fortunate. Maybe the missionaries from the church might be there and things like that. But it's always just a nice time. And you just kind of eat and have a good time and then go home and try to recover. It's very similar on Christmas, a similar type tradition. Historically, we've done which we'll talk about that probably in a month or so, but historically we do a similar type meal. And then lots of times we'll kind of sing some songs and maybe talk about the Savior a little bit after Christmas as well. But there's a lot to be grateful for, man. It's just no matter how bad it is, there's a lot to be grateful for. And I truly blessed. And I'm glad we have a day each year. We should be grateful every day, but I'm glad we have a day to really hone in and focus on the things that we're thankful for, because really, with an attitude of gratitude, you can accomplish really good things, and it gives you a better perspective on life. And so that's I'm not always the best at that, but when I am grateful and express that gratitude or feel that gratitude in my life, I'm a lot happier. I don't worry so much what other people have. I'm just grateful for what I have and the opportunities I've been given. And then, the dark clouds seem to go away.
Well said, Bruce. I think a lot of folks, it's easy to be thankful when things are going well for you. It's easy to thank and praise God when you're riding high on the mountaintop, but it's not so easy sometimes when you're down in that valley and you're down and you've lost loved ones, or things aren't going right, or you don't have your health, or things you just can't get it together. It's harder to be thankful, but those are the times that I've learned to try to be as thankful as possible, because no matter the circumstance that you find yourself in, there is someone somewhere going through a living hell that you cannot even imagine, that would be so thankful to be in your shoes and in your position.
Sometimes I think, unfortunately, when we are having the good times, we're less likely to be grateful. Sometimes we get prideful and jealous and we want more. And it's just interesting how life works. Sometimes when you feel like you're doing it, you feel like you're in control and you've got things figured out. Sometimes we forget about where the source of everything comes from. And we lose some of that gratitude for, our loved ones, for those who helped us along the way. And especially, our source from which all power comes. And that's, up above. And so we need to sometimes those difficult times may seem extremely difficult first. And they are difficult, but those are the times when you get in the depths of despair, so to speak, when you have to reach out and it's easier sometimes to recognize you need help. And then when you receive that help, sometimes if you have the right attitude, you become more grateful then. And so that's why we have ups and downs in life, I think, is to learn how to deal with successes and failures and stay grateful and happy along the way. A grateful heart is, I think, probably the number one way to just be a happy person. Gratitude is really important. And of course, we got to be grateful for God and for, what he's done for us, our Savior, Jesus Christ, his son, Jesus Christ. And in my opinion, that's super important, but just an attitude of gratitude overall for the Lord, for our friends, for our families, and whatever our situation is, just try and focus on the good things. And that's hard to do sometimes. Admittedly, it's real hard to do sometimes, but it makes a huge difference in your life if you can have that attitude of gratitude in your life. I believe that that's so important, and I'm not always the best at it. Sometimes I get pretty down, but it really helps when I can, recognize that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think it's something we could all probably do a little better on, and make sure that we're mindful of it, and not so much mindful that we are trying to force ourselves to be thankful, but be in the mindset to know that sometimes we aren't thankful, and we need to be mindful of that. And I really like what you said there, Bruce, and it reminds me of 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And that is sometimes hard to do.
One thing I'd like to, for some reason this came across my mind. I remember, I work in the medical field. I'm a physical therapist, and a lot of what we do, I work actually in a hospital. We have a lot of really sick people we deal with, and people sometimes lash out. Most people are really awesome, but some people, when they get sick or when they feel bad, they lash out. And but I remember one day, and it doesn't have anything to do with lashing out, but we had this not young, she was old, actually old, a really old little African-American lady. She was tiny, and she was trying, and she couldn't do much. If I remember right, it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. After I came back over to work at the hospital, I hadn't been there very long. And I just remember I had an overwhelming feeling, that this was a daughter of God. She was older, her skin was wrinkled. She had probably had some hard times in her life. She was, if I remember right, just a pleasant little black lady. She was just awesome. And I don't remember her saying a whole lot, but for some reason I had this overwhelming feeling that this is a daughter of God. And I don't always do the best job of it, but if we can look at the people around us, whatever our profession is, whatever the situation is, even if it's a rough situation, or if we can just look at other people with that respect, that's what Jesus did. I know that there were people that mocked him and abused him and they ultimately killed him, but he still loved those people. And it's hard. It's, we're human and it's difficult to do, but if you can look at people with that light, as this is a creation of our Heavenly Father, then it really can help. Sometimes even in the difficult times, people that you disagree with or issues that you have, it can really help smooth things over. It can help you gain a different perspective, because I hope that people are, can look at me in the same way. And so that's just something that I just thought I'd share with you. A feeling I had that day. It was just almost an overwhelming feeling. And I had never had that exact type feeling before. And I've been doing this a long time, but for some reason there was a message that needed to be had right there. And it was nothing different about that patient than a lot of my patients, but for some reason that one day, and I've shared that with students I've had, especially, I got to be kind of careful sometimes in a professional setting, but if I have students that seem to be believers or seem to have a good heart, I've shared that with them, that you just need to look at people with that light. And if you can do that, sometimes you can overlook a lot of the imperfections and difficult things that you go through.
Very well said, Bruce. I think there are times where you have that spirit of discernment, or you can pick up on the fact that maybe even someone is a believer, or someone is going through a hard time, and just the way that you look at them or the way that you approach them, they also can then feel that connection. And even if that is the only thing that there is just a look, an acknowledgement of somebody, a smile, a glance, that can really make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, I don't have very much longer, but I'll tell you of experience I had today, and it was kind of a special, almost like a sacred moment. And I don't do this very often either. I know there are people who work professionally. There are physicians and nurses and people in all walks of life probably that really just are maybe more in tune with the spirit than I am, that are able to reach out and know when it's appropriate to pray with people or whatever. But I had a lady I saw today. She's an old friend of mine. She used to be my boss actually at a job I was at, and just a neat lady. And she's really having a difficult time. I mean, she's extremely sick, and I don't know. Hopefully she'll be here for a while, but I'm not sure. And I went up to visit her. We actually had a physical therapy order for me to go see her today, and she's not able to do much of anything right now. And I went in the room, and she just said, "I just can't, not today. I'm too weak," or whatever. And so we talked for a little while, and before I left, I had this distinct impression that I just said, "Would you like to pray with me? And would you like to pray, or whatever?" And she said yes. And so I said a little prayer with her, nothing fancy, nothing special. It was just like a simple prayer. But just those type moments, I hope I can be more in tune for those opportunities, because you do have to be careful in a work setting. Some people you just have to know, you kind of have to be able to kind of be guided a little bit on when to do that, when it's appropriate. In that particular moment, it just was a neat, special moment. Her husband was there, and we just had a nice little sacred moment together. And I don't know if she'll be here a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I don't know. But it was just a cool little experience. And so, all the things we talk about on these channels, the bees, we all love the bees, and we talk about how there's divinity in the bees, and there's no way that, and it actually is a testimony strengthener for me. We talk about a lot of business things. We talk about a lot of strategies for keeping bees alive. We talk about the community that we have here. But really, it all boils down to things that are way beyond the bees or each individual person. There is just a greater purpose that we all have. I think that's what we're all trying to find. And I know I'm 57 years old. I'm still trying to get to where I need to be, but the journey is what it's all about. It's kind of like that shade tree. What's the little saying you say about the planting the shade tree that you may never feel the shade of? That's what we're doing our entire lives. We're kind of laying the groundwork. Yes, we're trying to grow and advance and move forward in our own lives, but really it's about what are we going to leave behind, or is the world going to be a better place? And we don't have to be a huge influence. We don't have to, everyone in the world doesn't have to know our name to be an influence. The way we influence people is one day at a time, one person at a time, one-on-one, one by one. That's what the Savior did. He didn't get up in front. He didn't intentionally get up in front of people and put himself out in front of people. He just served people one at a time. And then his disciples did the same thing. And he gained a fame and a influence just by serving people, going into the most difficult areas of people that were suffering the most. And those are the people that he reached out to. So when we look at people, we look at how successful they are. We look at how awesome we think they are. Let's just realize that everyone's going through their own things. And then we look at people sometimes and we think, well, they're not a very good person, or they're not living the way that I think they should live. Understand too that the Lord is mindful of them as well, and we should be as well. And they might just be going through a difficult time, or they just might not be ready right now to move forward. They might be having a moment of going backwards in their life a little bit for whatever reason. So, there are much more important and sacred things in this life than being the best beekeeper, or having the most money, or being the most influential person. It's really all about reaching out to people one by one. And I think that what we're doing here is we're trying to do that with the bees. That's kind of what our calling is. I don't know where I'm going to be 10 years from now, if I'm even going to be here 10 years from now, but for now, I feel like that's what I've been called to do. And hopefully I've been able to have a positive influence. I didn't mean to get so deep. I just wanted to hop on here for
Love
a couple
it.
minutes and see what was going on, but But there is something, there's a connection, and I believe it firmly, between this earth and the next life. There is a connection between us and God, and we can gain access to that if we only will put forth the effort to do that. If we only search and strive for that, and the way we do that is by reaching out, I believe, through prayer, and also by serving others. That's the best way, in my opinion, that you can really grow closer to God, is by serving other people. You know, that's what I believe. So, man, didn't mean to do that, but
Bruce,
I had
very
no
well
idea it was
said.
going to go there. I'm glad I hopped on here.
I'm glad you did too. I think maybe we'll have to have more of these short story longs and like you mentioned there. Their life is not just about bees. Bees are the conduit to the people. We can learn an awful lot from there. But Bruce, from our family to yours, we are extremely thankful for you guys, for the Jennies. You know, we'll keep you in our prayers. Everyone knows what it's like to have that empty seat at the table, and that's a part of life, and that's hard. And then so for everyone out there in the same kind of scenario, you know, a lot of us have been there, and that's the way it goes. You know, our days are numbered, and if you can live a life, I think what Bruce, you just outlined there, that's what it's about: a life of service, doing unto others. And what you alluded to earlier, there's two really good quotes that I like. One's an ancient proverb, says something like, "A society grows great when old men plant trees under the shade that they know they'll never sit under." And the other one is scripture based, and it's, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children," not just an inheritance financially, but true wealth, spiritual wealth, physical wealth, health, knowledge. Those are big things. Community. Bruce, thanks for jumping on tonight. Hope you and your family have a very happy Thanksgiving. Bruce, we'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. on the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat on the Bruce's Bees YouTube channel.
That's right. I may have some stories to tell by next week. I'm going to fly out to Utah, and stay tuned next week. A lot of really cool things happening to me in the next few days. Some things locally, even though I'm not going to be here. Hopefully some cool things are going to happen here, and then some things out in Utah. Just going to be there for a couple of days, but I've received an incredible opportunity, and I'm going to tease you a little bit with that here, and we'll talk about it next Wednesday night. So everybody show up next Wednesday night, and you know, the first part of the chat, we'll probably talk about my weekend a little bit, because it's going to be, I am flying out on Thanksgiving Day, so that's going to be a little odd, but the airplanes won't be very full. I don't think it'll be it's actually a really good time to travel. But man, the Friday and Saturday, I got some things coming up that are going to be pretty fun. Not even beekeeping related. I don't, you know, I may meet up some beekeepers. I don't know, but it's not going to be beekeeping related. It's going to be, let me put it this way, college football related.
Wow. Well, Bruce, let your flag fly high. I hope you have a great time. We'll see you next week. See you, Bruce.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good evening.
Man, guys, one of the funnest things is, you know, we talk about all the time, bees are the conduit to the people, the kind of folks that are just put in your life through bees. I mean, come on. You know, folks are brought me. I think folks are, we are social creatures. And so I think that we will always find ways to find each other, or God puts people in our lives. But I don't know. I mean, I want to assume that even folks, and let's say I don't even know, randomly a BF Goodrich all-terrain message board. I mean, are folks finding each other like this? I hope so. I hope so. I hope God uses anything and everything to bring people together. I think that's the cool thing. So tonight's kind of a different show. It's a random call-in show to see what folks are doing. We're doing it old school. We're calling in randomly. If you're listening, if you're tuned in tonight and you're in the comments, if I've got your number, or maybe if you've got mine, we might go back and forth here for a little while longer and just kind of tune in and see, what does Thanksgiving look like to different folks across the country. We're gonna go back here to Mr. Tennessee Tim McCandless down in Tennessee, and we're gonna wrap up and see, what does a McCandless Thanksgiving look like, sound like? What does it taste like? Tim, are you there?
Yes, sir. I've been sitting here feasting off Brother Bruce talking about the attitude of gratitude.
Ooh, that's good stuff, isn't
I
it?
like it. That's good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, no
I
doubt,
like it.
no doubt. I know you got a lot to be
Hey,
grateful for. If folks, if for some reason they're living in a cave and they don't know your full story, folks, I would highly encourage you to go back into our video archives. We've got 2 interviews with Tennessee Tim McCandless. Beekeeping saved my life. 2 really fun, kind of different interviews. One, we're walking around. Tim's kind of showing us his place, showing the things that makes him tick, that brings him joy and happiness. And then we get into a deep conversation of what it was like when someone literally is one breath at a time to all the way. Now Tim is a budding beekeeper, apiarist, has a growing honey business, Hiccup Hot Honey. Also has a bee removal thing that he does too. Tim, what does Thanksgiving look like at the McCandless table?
well, our Thanksgiving is always kind of blended in with our church service.
Mm.
We would well, this even now this year we're gonna have a meal out here in the driveway.
Mm.
Anybody that doesn't have a place to go is invited to come eat. We've 20, 30 people gonna come tomorrow and eat. I do these things, my old man suppers that I do. December the 3rd, we're doing one, and then for my bee club's gonna be out here. We're gonna have a big meal, like a covered dish. All the local beekeepers are gonna get together and really just kind of what Bruce was talking about having an attitude of gratitude. That's probably the best thing you could say about it. To be thankful for what you do have. It as no matter where you're at in life, man, somebody could have it way worse than what you got it. And you get your head screwed on right and you start working towards getting yourself in a better position. And it don't matter how long it takes. It could take you 15 years, but you work towards it every day. Every day. It's that's what the bees have done for me. As far as our get together, just country food. There'll be some fried chicken. My mama was making dressing and dumplings a while ago. There'll be like sweet potato pie and banana pudding, stuff like that. Honestly, though, I don't partake in that as much as I used to.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Dude, I've lost over 300 pounds since my heaviest, and I think about every pound how hard it was to get off. And now when I look at the food, I'm like, do you really want to have to fast all next week because you want this piece of pie?
Yeah.
So I will fast during this time of year a lot, believe it or not. I'll go to and they'll have a big meal, and I just kind of look at it like, yep, that looks good. But I don't want to get back in the shape I was, and so.
Yep. Well, that you're in a good place, Tim, and I'm excited to watch your business grow and all the things that you're getting into. And if folks, Hiccup Hot Honey, what a cool product line. Really excited to see what you do there, Tim. What's out of all the spread, everything on the Thanksgiving table, what is the one thing that Thanksgiving just ain't Thanksgiving without it? What's the one thing?
Oh man, it'd have to be deviled eggs.
Okay, nice. Okay,
has to be. I mean, like Yeah, the deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Now see, deviled eggs, and I mentioned this earlier about the protocol. You know, pie first, pie cake combination second plate, meat third plate.
Yep.
Deviled eggs gets a pass on any plate. So you can get deviled eggs like 3 or 4 of them when you pie its first plate. Yeah.
It's like a wild card there, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like the you ever played Rook? Like it's like the big red one. Yeah, it's like the trump card.
I know what a trump card is. Up here we play something called euchre. Maybe I think that's a northern thing. It might be an Ohio, Indiana thing, but anyways. Well, Tim, hey.
And what's it called again? Euchre?
Euchre. Yeah, I don't know how you spell it. Maybe EUCHRE. Euchre. Kind of a four player.
We've been playing.
Yeah.
We've been playing stuff like spades and stuff down here.
Yeah, I'm not I don't know a bunch of card games at all. Yeah, when maybe euchre, go fish, war. That's about the extent of my card ability. But anyways, well, hey Tim, man, I am so thankful that that God put us together. That I was able to meet you, hear your story, get to meet you, have some road dog adventures, getting to and fro, and spending some time down there with you in Tennessee. So thankful for you, Tim.
Of all the things that you put on the air, like since I've known you, I wish with everything in me that day that we rode, you come and pick me up in the snow, take me to the conference. I wish somebody had a thought to record that. You had just come back from visiting some queen breeders, and you just needed to regurgitate some of this stuff. And I know I got in the truck and had like 1,000 questions, and by the time I got out of the truck, I had 12,000 questions. But the information you shared was like gold, man. It was like gold. And I appreciate all the, you and Bruce and Brian. Y'all have this community that y'all have forged. And it's kind of like a spinoff of what Cayman and Laurel's, their thing that they do. It all kind of connects together, the bees being the conduit. But I appreciate all these little chats and stuff, the information you share, and the community that y'all have built around this. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, well, that's what makes this great, is having folks like you in it, Tim. So we appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing all the things that you get into this coming year. And from the whole Burns house to you, Tim, happy Thanksgiving. And I guess we'll talk at you a little later.
All right, buddy. You have a blessed one.
See you, bud. So many cool folks. Not enough time. Let's see. You know what we need to do? We need to go back, and we need to. Everyone's dying. My phone is blowing up here. Everyone said enough with the talk. We need to know more about this personal pumpkin pie sort of scenario. So let me see. Let me see if I can get him on the phone here again. Let's see. Let's see if he answers. He usually just sends me to voicemail like all the time. Like he's too busy to take my calls ever. Like he never.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
See what I'm saying? Look at this guy. Let's
Ryan Coper
is not available.
Did you hear that? That was
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Yes, this is the IRS calling. You are overdue, and we are at your door.
How dare he send me the voicemail like that? I mean, come on. I even paid him $10 to answer the phone. I can't even get a break. What am I going to do? Let's see if we can. Oh, there he is. Oh, Brian Coper in the flesh. Stream team chat going in extra innings. How's it going, Brian?
You even got Eli going on that one. Oh man.
Well, I'm glad you had a safe trip in. We've got it. Let's Brian, ready? Let's dial it in. Pumpkin pie, personal pan pumpkin pie strategy. Look at that. That's nice. Look at that. Wow. Okay.
Let's just turn it.
Really dialing it in. Look at this, guys. All right, here we go. Set that to 11, 10, 11. All right.
See?
We've got it turned to 11. Let's hear about this pumpkin pie strategy. Let's go in. So there you are. There you were.
So, the pie, when you get the meal, like I was saying, it's like think of me as Joey Chestnut. You know who he is?
The hot dog eating champ, right?
Hot dog guy. Well,
Okay.
I'm the pie guy. That meal there, that's just prep work. Stretches everything out. And you let it rest half hour, and then you just go in. Normally, there's a piece taken out about yay big in first sitting, and then after that, it'll I devour
the middle. Is it pie and like outer crust or?
Oh, no. You got to start with the crust and work in. But I devour. Usually, I will eat that whole pie in a day.
In a day. So you're sitting there. Like, do you ever get into like family, like the Hatfields and McCoys? I mean, so I imagine like you've got this pie.
Mm-hmm.
You've kept it protected. It's on your lap. Like Eli, he's in the back room. He's like everyone knows. Here you are. You got your pie, little turkey, some dressing, maybe some cranberries.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're one of those weird families that have green bean casseroles. And like, is green bean casserole is that even like authorized Thanksgiving food?
No, we don't have that on Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I didn't offend you there. Okay, good.
No,
all right, so you're sitting there, right? Everyone's looking around. Everyone's can you? They're using their manners. You said grace. Can you pass the gravy boat? And you're sitting there, and you're like, do they know? Do they know? Like, don't even ask Brian. Just pass it. Like, people are reaching over to grab the boat to move it down because you're in it to win it.
It all started because I used to take such monstrous slices of pumpkin pie that then other people would complain. And then folks in the family wised up, my mother being the first one. And so she would just make me my own pie. And she'd be like, that one is yours. Don't touch the other. And then I'm being generous. I'm the family, they have their pie. I have my pie.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that it was necessarily because you ate too much of the pie. I think it was because you ate too much of the pie with your fingers. You're just grabbing into the pie and just grabbing globs of pumpkin pie. And anyway, everyone's like, we're not going to eat after him. See, It was your strategy to make sure you had the pie for yourself. But they said, come on now, this is not In-N-Out Burger. This is not animal style. Like, we're going to get in there's one pie for Brian, one pie for everybody else.
It's how I was raised. So you can't fault me.
You are a product of your upbringing. That's
exactly.
For sure.
I am just doing as I was told as a child. Would you like some pie? Sure, I will take the pie. I didn't see any problem with it.
Like, where do you, like, when you watch the football game with the family, like, do you have to be in your own individual recliner? I don't see you being in the center couch cushion on a sectional with this leftover pumpkin pie.
I honest and serious. I literally just take the pie pan and just, because there's no sense on cutting a slice because it's my pie.
It's just, man,
it's my
I
pie.
like it. I've life goals.
Look,
I've learned.
Is Brian the last child? Of course I am.
Yeah, good guess, Mark. All right, Brian, we've got a joke for you. Let's see if okay. So Philip Morse, RTX Honeybees. Hey, Greg and Brian, a little Thanksgiving joke. How do you keep a turkey in suspense?
I don't know. Where's the answer?
See what he did there? You see what he did there?
Oh my!
Wow, the good one. Well done, Philip. Well done. You get it? Oh, that guy's clever. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I'll tell you later. Oh, that's nice.
Oh man,
that's a good one.
I fell for that hook line.
Oh man, that's funny.
Wow.
Well, Brian, what is so the pumpkin pie? That's your thing. What other is there something else outside of that on the table that it's got to be there? If it's not there, it's not Thanksgiving.
You know, like my family does pretty much the traditional Thanksgiving meal. You know, it's the turkey with the stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, the yams. It's just like their traditional. There'll be cranberry, but I'm not that much of a cranberry person. It just, for some odd reason, when you open up that can and you dump that cranberry blob out, it just turned me off at that moment. I was like, yeah, I can't eat that, you know? So it's that traditional. But I'll say, of all the holidays that my family cooks for, Easter is the one that I look forward to. Just because there's traditional, like Ukrainian foods that we have. And that is the one that I just, man, that is the meal is Easter. But Thanksgiving, oh man, I'll go in pretty hard, pretty heavy. You know, you got to get the turkey and, you know, the stuffing and just everything in it. So yeah, I do enjoy it. I mean, you know, and it's not, you know, when you're younger, you don't really understand the holidays and the meanings behind them and all that stuff. But, you know, tomorrow, my brother and sister-in-law, they're still in North Carolina. So they, unfortunately, they haven't been able to get their home ready. Just with all the damage down there, there were a lot of shops that they were planning on going to get that house set up that are not around. So they've been kind of delayed. So they won't be there. Other people in the family won't be there. So we won't quite have as many family members there. But, you know, I mean, everybody's healthy. Everybody's doing good. So you got to be thankful for that, you know. But yeah, you learn as you age to appreciate these holidays a little bit more, you know. As I mean, we only have a certain number of Thanksgivings, and you know, you got to appreciate them. So, but yeah, I do enjoy it. So it'll, you know, I'm looking forward to it. So, and I'm even now, because, you know, my daughter just recently got married. She has to work. So, and she's missing out Thanksgiving. This will be the first time. So me being, you know, the dad, I said, well, why don't I just cook a Thanksgiving meal over the weekend? So Sunday, you know, I'm turkey and doing everything again. So that way, you know, she can have her Thanksgiving meal. And so her and, you know, my son-in-law, then they'll come over and it'll be just the four of us having Thanksgiving again on Sunday.
Now, this, I would, you definitely get father of the holiday award. But let me ask you this. Is there also pumpkin pie on Sunday?
There should be. If Tara really loved me.
Oh boy.
And she's probably not watching this, but I could tell her I got to see the exact hour. I could say it's an hour and 18 in. So go to about an hour and 18 in. And I could say, just watch that little segment there because I talk about her just so loving and everything. But yes, if I had my own pumpkin pie again on Sunday, what more would I need in life?
You know, it's like everyone's favorite Christmas song. It's like when it comes on, everybody loves it. It's Mariah Carey. When you hear it, you just are filled, overflowing with the holiday spirit, where it's all I want for Christmas is
It's pumpkin
25
pie.
days of pumpkin pies.
Yes.
Starting now.
Starting right now. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's
See?
nice. So check this out. So some folks here, when I asked you, Brian, what is the one thing that really makes or breaks Thanksgiving spread? So check out some of these here from Jared Doucet. Gumbo. Can you imagine that?
I could do that though.
I really, I'm not a real big fan of like the critters with the
shrimp,
crawfish, and all that crabby things. But I love gumbo. Really love gumbo, primarily because the okra and whatever other meats are in there.
So you're telling me, as that even upset Eli.
Eli, my most sincerest apologies.
You're telling me that you will eat a cicada, but you will not eat shrimp and crawfish.
I will eat land shrimp, but I will not eat shrimp of the sea. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit. I think there's a what do you call that, Brian? This is one of those short story long. So, what do you call it? There is actually like is it a phenotype? There's studies based on our blood type and our genetic background that we are predisposed to like liking certain foods and then being not really so much on other things. Obviously, I was not an ocean dweller. So I don't know. Just something about it. I just don't. Sauerkraut pie, I'm all in.
Huh.
Crawfish, lobster, crab, shrimp.
Oh yeah, look at that right there. Crawfish and alligator gumbo.
What?
That
okay,
right
let's go through these.
That's
okay. Mark Bassinger asks, does anyone have hot honey turkey recipes? Ooh, that actually sounds good. The second day turkey sandwiches, right? With a little dressing on there, right?
Yeah.
Imagine just a little hot honey just drizzled on there.
Yeah.
And it's served hot.
Man,
I
wonder what the hot honey on the pumpkin pie would do.
Man, that might not be a bad idea.
You know, I might have to try that.
Man, I got a box over here. I might dig it out. Flower Street Farm, Brian Zavada. I placed an order, and maybe I'll just do a video on that stuff. It's very safe to say probably one of my absolute favorite honeys of all time that I've ever had is right from Brian Zavada at Flower Street Farm. We're getting into overtime. I won't do that tonight. Maybe on an upcoming. He does a really great job with those things. So Honor Mountain oyster dressing. Now, exactly is oyster dressing? Is that like oyster crackers as the breading or the stuffing or dressing? So all right, so here's the weird thing.
Interesting.
Long story short. All right, so they call it stovetop stuffing, but the only thing that you're stuffing is your face with it. Like, do folks actually put stovetop stuffing in a bird? Now, our family, my wife's side, calls it dressing, but it's actually, it's like several days in advance, and it's this whole like thing, process. Right? The secret meeting of the women making and it actually goes in the bird to cook, and that's called dressing. But it's not. So you stuff the bird with dressing, but you dress your plate with stuffing. See, you heard it here first.
If you understood that right there yesterday, the world would be running. All wars would end. There would be peace across the entire earth.
So close, but so far away.
Giblet gravy.
Let's go down to the list here. Carmine Fiola, you got to have homemade cranberries. The can is no good. Yeah, I do like fresh cranberries. That is super good.
I love cranberry juice. So if it was homemade, I might try it.
You probably would.
it's just opening a can and just dumping
The
out
blob,
that
the
blob.
canned stuff doesn't have like real cranberries. It has like a certain I don't know, like this natural astringent
It's a
bite
certain
with the sweetness.
it's a certain je ne sais quoi.
Wow, what did you just say there, Brian? I don't know what that was, but it sounds fancy.
You like that?
Je ne sais quoi?
Yep. That's it.
Wow,
That's it.
I'm going to use that tomorrow. See if I
See?
get laughed at. Last time I said something I thought was funny, like, oh, because the kids say things, and then when like they're cool sayings until dad says it. But when
Right.
one of the girls would do something and I would look and say, wow, that's very demure. That was totally 2023, Dad. No one says demure anymore. So, anyways, whatever you said there, maybe it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
Penny Birdwell, he says a bowl of mom's dressing before the eggs. We ate it before it's baked. Nice.
Yeah.
I like a little caraway seed in that dressing. I like the caraway seed there.
Yeah.
Aaron Paris, our buddy from the frozen north of Canada. I like the real cranberries, not the blob can one. Well, you know what? I agree. But I will say this. Beggars can't be choosers. And if I don't have to make it and I don't have to clean it, I am thankful for whatever that it is, for nearly whatever that it tastes like, unless it's a craw. I got to be really hungry to get down on some crawfish, I think.
Really?
But, yeah. Huh. What do we got here? Oh, my goodness gracious. I haven't had dinner yet. Been here working on the shop, working on Black Friday stuff. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. Let's look at here. Let's see. I'm lost in the things here. Gary Stewart from West Virginia, but pumpkin pie puree in a pie shell is not real pie. Boy, have you ever had real pumpkin pie made from real pumpkins?
My mom.
Your mom?
Oh, my mom does that, and she does like her apple pie. She gets she'll even do the crust, and she'll weave it. Do the top all fancy and stuff.
Gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh, the pie baking over there it's legit.
I got Jared's name right.
Was it Doucet?
I don't know. I'm not going to say it again because I'm afraid I'll say it wrong. So we're going to end on the high note that I got it right there.
Okay.
Tennessee Tim, a chicken gumbo is the bomb. Chicken gumbo is good. There is some kind of a creature of the sea in gumbo that I've had that I know I've liked before. It probably is like maybe chunks of shrimp. Oh, maybe it's andouille sausage. Is that how you say it? Andouille?
Yeah.
Andouille sausage? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mark says shrimp are much better than cicadas, but the thing is, you can't get any more locally grown than land shrimp, which is also known as the great cicada. Lee from Kodiak Farm Bees. It ain't Thanksgiving unless it's crawfish and alligator gumbo.
I mean,
now the alligator gumbo, I would totally. I like alligator.
Yeah,
I like catfish, crawfish.
Yeah. They had an alligator up in Lake Erie this past summer. I'm not lying.
What?
I'm serious. It was on the news around here. There was it was somebody's pet that probably got out. It was like a 4-foot gator that was swimming around by the docks and stuff. Somebody, they had it on video on the news. See?
Wow. All right. Check out this comment here. Now, this is cool because Susie went through this phase where as the kids were like certain ages, they if you said they're eating this, I'm not touching it, right? But if you sneak it in or if you put it in, they have no idea. They eat it and it's all gone. And then if you're funny like me and you say, yeah, you know what that was? They're like, oh. So check this out. So Miss Marianne Sears, she says, I tell the kids it's pumpkin pie, but it rarely is. This year it is sweet potato. Some years it's butternut squash. They never know.
Yeah.
You know what I do know? I know Mr. Larry Sears is eating like a king no matter what she does.
Exactly.
Boy.
Yeah. You know, one of the other things I love, because I love sweet potato and all that stuff, acorn squash.
Acorn squash, yeah. Yeah.
I'll take an acorn squash, cut that bugger right in half, throw in there some butter, some brown sugar, cover it up, microwave it. Oh,
That sounds good, Brian. Let's
delicious.
get through a couple more of these. It ain't Thanksgiving unless you've got, and then we're gonna let's see here. We've got let's see. Where man, the comments are already refreshed. I'm lost again.
Mhm.
Absolutely lost again. Giblet gravy on dressing. I like that. I like it when it's real gravy made from the offal there.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm totally lost in the comments there. Wherever all of the I'm lost. Brian, big Black Friday deals coming up at Nature's Image Farm, and we've got something really super cool that is an absolute first of its kind. And what's neat is when you've got really cool things that you're collaborating with folks. Man, that is just super cool. Brian, do you want to see something cool?
Definitely. Why wouldn't I?
Well, I got to be able to pull it up here, and apparently
I'm thinking. What I'm thinking right now is that you have dialed it all in.
Brian, that's really good. You should think about using that for your marketing at some time.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. Are you guys parade people, Morris Homestead? I will be tomorrow. Let me see. I need to do something here. Let me see if I can't get a little video thing here. Let me see here.
I think what is that? The Macy's Day Parade?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, that's Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Oh, not that one. Let me see.
Well, it wouldn't be the Parade of Homes. Would it be the Parade of I don't know.
I gotta find the.
How do you keep a turkey in suspense?
You know. Let me see here. No, not that one. I gotta find the right video. Where's it at? Where is it at? Oh boy. Lots of activity here. Lots of activity. Here we go. I'll show you Morris Homestead. This is what I will be chasing.
Oh my gosh.
Tomorrow.
Here we go.
I will be chasing that right there tomorrow. Look at him. Isn't that nice?
That is nice. Let's zoom in there, Brian. What are we looking at here? Let's see. Oh man, a couple of brow time. Oh, we've got okay, there we go. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, it looks like you might have a 10-point buck there, buddy.
Yeah. And that area right behind it, that's my blind. So yeah, I'm gonna be.
You could have back straps for Thanksgiving dinner. Come on. Who wouldn't want to get some of that?
I'm gonna be
back straps. Oh, I learned years ago. My buddy Jeff taught me a superb way for back straps. You take the time and you get the back straps right. You get them out, you get them cleaned up, and then as you got the back straps laid out, you'll cut them into about an 1 3/4 inch width, and then once the back strap is cut and you've got your medallion, right? You then cut that medallion right in half, almost all the way through, but you stop just shy, and then it folds over, and you've got this beautiful backstrap medallion. Put that on some cast iron, pat of butter, garlic, salt, and pepper.
Yeah,
come on, does not get any better than that.
Yeah,
that is. I have not been able to make the time to get out and do the scouting and get things going here, but I need to get out there and get some back straps in the freezer for sure.
So I did hear, as I'm driving down the road here this evening, I heard they were talking about all the statistics about the Macy's parade, and they said that Macy's is actually the second largest consumer in the world of helium from that one event.
Just from the one event.
One event, and they are the second behind, of course, the U.S. government. But yeah, they go through that much helium for that parade.
Can you imagine that? Like you're there and you've got these big balloons and everyone's like working them, and then all of a sudden there's like a little leak in one of the balloons, and then everyone
just starts talking like, "What's going on here? The balloons are leaking, and I don't even know what I'm sounding like." And wow,
wouldn't that be wild? Can you imagine something like that happening? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Brian, speaking of unbelievable things, we've got a certain collaboration. Nature's Image Farm.
Yeah.
Queen Right Dial.
Yes.
You want to check it out? We've got some really great Black Friday sales. Now today's Wednesday, so Black Friday starts Friday, but
it's Friday. Yeah.
For the folks here listening to the chat, check this out. You guys kind of get a little early bird opportunity. Look at this. So check it out. Some 20% off. We've got packages for 124, nukes for 198 with our Appalachian Mutt Queens in them. One of the things that I'm really, really excited about are our Hive kits. Everyone knows EnduraHive is where it's at. The best quality wax dip boxes on the market. We've taken it to a whole other level. We've got the EnduraHive wax dipped Propola hive body, absolute best box on the market with the best wax dipping ever. We've now got that with the Apame top cover, the dual feeder, the beautiful bottom board that also has a pollen trap in it. But wait, there's more. If you really want to dial in your hive kits, Brian, check it out. Look at that. Dial it in. We've got the Queen Right dual indicator right on the box too. Yeah. You can dial it in. You can always know. No more writing notes on top or remembering what brick orientation is for which. Right there on the dial, just by easily turning the dial, you can make sure that you're staying on point with the queen that's in the box. What year is she? How old is she? You can turn that to the color of the queen. And the really cool thing is the status indicator, the other dial that's on there, when your green light, squared away, good to go, put it on green. If you've got a problem, something you got to come back to, you can put it on red. Is there a swarm cell in there? Turn it to swarm cell. Color coded so you know exactly what is going on. The next time you get back into your hive, you look right at it, you say, hey, here was the scenario, the situation then. Now you're not going to be forgetting what you did, what you've got to do, what the situation is. Get it dialed in. nature'simagefarm.com.
Like that.
Wax dipped hive kits, $199. That includes 10 of the best frames and foundation on the market. The purest frames, double wax foundation on the inside. You just can't beat it. If you're local, we've got these deals with hive kits. With bees, you can save even more money. If you're looking at getting a nuke this year and hive kits, we've got those comboed together. You can save yourself some money. nature'simagefarm.com. Brian, I'm really excited to collaborate with Queen Right Dial and have that. I mean, does it get any better than that?
I wish I would have had that when I started. I wish I would have had it.
Well, when Brian 80 is the thing, we can get you all squared up.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a heck of a deal. It's
a great deal. Black Friday only. You know, the beekeeping supply business, it is a tough road to hoe. Very tight margins. It's an extreme amount of work. We love it. We absolutely love it. We love the people that are brought into our life, into our business. So for us, it's special to be able to offer 20% off. That means we're operating at like very, very thin margin. But for us, it's cool to be able to do what we can to have great deals on the best equipment on the market. EnduraHive wax dip, I mean, it's one and done. No paint, no rot. no hassle. You're never going to paint boxes. You're never going to rework them. There are a lot of, I don't want to say phony and fakes and copies out there, but all wax dipped is not created equal. So check out the EnduraHive wax dip line of equipment, Nature's Image Farm. Those deals are live right now. So everyone here listening to the stream team, you guys heard it here first. Brian, we had Bruce chimed in for a little while. We've had some call-ins from folks. We're going an hour and 40. We're already 10 minutes past our preordained time for the stream team. Brian, what are you most thankful for this year?
Oh man. I mean, I guess, first I could say health, that I'm still on the right side of the daisies. But just, overall, I mean, just the health of the family, across the board there, I got to be thankful for that. I mean, my faith, of course, I'm thankful for that, but just, also like Tim was saying, just my friendship with you and Bruce and just the community that we have, that is something special. If you would have said 3 years ago that here we would be, I wouldn't have believed it. So, every day I am thankful for you guys. So, yeah, but there's so much. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. I mean, I a lot of things in my life I'm blessed to have. So, I'm thankful for a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. So.
Well, it is that time of year where, at least hopefully one day of year, folks who maybe aren't in that attitude of gratitude, if they're not in that mode of giving thanks, there are so many things to be thankful for. If the good Lord woke you up this morning, if you have ears to even hear this message, if you're able to operate technology, if you are breathing on your own, if you are making a Thanksgiving dinner, look, it is really easy to be thankful when you're on the mountaintop. It is a real challenge to be thankful when you're in the valley. But folks, that's what it all is about, because you will find so much joy and happiness being thankful, even in the times where it seems the darkest. Remember that the darkest hour is just before dawn. No matter how hard you think you've got it, no matter what challenges that you feel that life is throwing your way, no matter how dark the night is, there is somebody out there who would wish that they had it as good as you. There's always somebody out there who's got it harder or tougher or in worst case scenario. It all beats the alternative. So if you have breath in your life, hey, I think we've got something to be thankful for.
Yep, so true.
Brian, we're really thankful for you, for Bruce, for the collaboration, for all the folks tuning in tonight. I don't know that it will be on social media much over the next couple of days, but I always like checking out the food pics. If someone posts a little, if you're listening to this, right, and you've got this is the thing that makes or breaks Thanksgiving. Hey, would you do this? Would you take a photo of it? And then would you go to the Nature's Image Farm YouTube or the Nature's Image Farm Facebook page? Tag me in it. I want to see it. I love to see the different eats that excite people, that are that traditional thing that Thanksgiving just isn't the same with. I love seeing that all over the place. Yeah. So that is really cool. Next Wednesday, we're going to be on the Bruce's Bees YouTube channel. Bruce is going to be going on a little adventure. He's going to tell us all about it next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's a celebrity.
He is just, man, can you believe it?
Celebrity.
Prime time. I think we'll start calling him prime time. Prime time, Bruce Jenny.
I can't even believe that I have his phone number. It's in my phone here.
You could. Well, I mean,
celebrity.
Some people you've got their phone numbers, but when you call them, they don't even let it. They don't even pretend. They don't even there's I'm not sure how to do it, but there is somewhere on your phone, like if somebody calls, like you can hit it and it stops ringing on your side, right, immediately, but it keeps ringing for them. So it makes them think that you are busy, right? And you don't know that they've called. So it's like, it's not so much of a letdown. There, however, are other breeds of individuals. They don't care. Like they want you to know, I'm not taking your call, right? And so the second you call, it goes bloop. The person you are calling is dump the dump. You,
yeah.
I'm not pointing any fingers or anything, but sometimes you call a good buddy and he just, I think the kids say, leave you on red.
Oh,
Come
wow.
on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But
anyways,
you know, after the celebrity weekend, he might not answer my calls again. I don't know.
He probably won't. Do you think he probably won't even text us anymore? He probably won't even give us any kind of updates.
No.
Here's what I'm thinking.
I know.
I'm thinking Bodacious Bruce, Primetime Bruce, the Dothan Shogun himself, since he's not on here to like defend himself, it's only fair. I think what he's probably going to, do you think he'll start charging us appearance fees?
Probably
So. We're going to need bigger super chats just to pay for Bruce's appearance.
When we do interviews, like we have regular chairs, he'll need like a throne.
Or one of those like director chairs that on the backs, it just says prime time. And everybody, the whole world will know, like there is only one prime time. Bruce Jenny. Everyone says prime time, Bruce Jenny. Everyone's it's going to be so great. Everyone's going to tell us how great it is.
Yeah. We're going to have to shift the order. Like he'll have to be in the middle, but on a pedestal. That way he's like 2 feet towering above us, 3 feet above us.
It's just an honor to think about knowing him like that, isn't it? I mean, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Life goals. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Man, we love you, appreciate you. We are so thankful for you. We hope that you are finding time to be thankful in all the things every day. There is so much to be thankful for, but we are thankful that we have an opportunity to talk, have fun, have the free speech to come to you live through technology, to share a little bit of our lives, our goofiness, our bad jokes, our beekeeping, our faith. It's really important, and we are so very thankful for that. Until next time, next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Bruce's Bees YouTube channel. He'll probably be there. Do you think he'll charge himself appearance fees if it's on his own YouTube channel, or will he charge us his appearance fees for being on it? We're gonna have to work that. Bruce, have your people talk with our people, and we'll kind of figure that thing out.
Right.
Sound good?
Yep. Awesome.
All right, guys. Until next week, we want to remind you to be the lighthouse and be the change you want to see in this world. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.